When it comes to losing weight and getting healthier, in this video, I'm going to talk about how I finally got started after years of failing. I'm also going to share a something that happened this past week that I would have considered a big failure in the past. So I'm going to tell you some of the steps that I took to get me going this time and have some success and give me the confidence to feel like I can continue to have success, and how you can incorporate those things as well. My name's Mike. Thank you for joining me today. Beautiful day outside here. I like doing these videos outside as much as possible because I just love being outdoor in nature. It keeps me feel like I'm grounded. Feel like I don't know, just kind of it's more peaceful. So anyway, it's an awesome day to talk about some things that we can do to be successful in losing weight and moving forward. So in the past, I've had a lot of failures, and if you're like me, you have too. I'm 55 years old, so I've I've had a lot of attempts in the past to lose weight. Pretty much always been weight almost all my life. So, in the later years, as you get older, it affects you more, I think, and you start thinking about things like your health. You start having some health issues like I did, like I have. And so there's more incentive to lose the weight in my experience. Um, I think the most important thing that can happen is you need to find your why. You need to have a huge reason why you're wanting to lose the weight. And if, losing 30 pounds to fit in the dress for the wedding that's coming up in 6 months is enough, that's awesome. If you need something deeper, it has to be a personal thing, and you need to find that yourself. And for me, it's family. And when I was younger, it's not like my family became more important as I got older. But when I was younger and didn't have health issues, I didn't think was ever going to catch up with me. So, man, I was wrong. So anyway, now that I am older, 55, a grandpa, man, I look at my granddaughter and I just want to be around as long as possible. And not only do I want to be around as long as possible, I want to be able to do things with her, um, and not have limitations based on my poor choices. So I want to do what I can to control my weight and health, and in turn, that's going to benefit me in all those ways with family and just with movement and all those kinds of things moving forward. So in the past, I failed because I went out of the gate too hard. I tried to change everything all at once, and if you're like me, I was just eating terrible. I mean, just tons of food. I was probably eating about as much in a day as I should have been, probably in the course of like definitely 2 and possibly 2.5, 3 days. Um, so, you can't go from that to changing everything all at once to strict, having severe calorie restriction and, you know, exercising hard every day and all that. Um, so I just kind of took some smaller steps, and also trying not to be perfect. Trying to be perfect has killed me in the past as well. And if I wasn't perfect at what I was doing, whether it be with my food or with exercise, I just got off track. I thought, well, I'm failing, so I'm just going to not do it. Um, so what I kind of changed first was I just reduced some of the calories I was taking in. I didn't concentrate too much on the quality of the food, just reduced calories, and that's been really successful. And as you lose weight and get healthier and get to feeling better, for me, it just kind of naturally came as I want to eat healthier things. So I'm incorporating a lot more healthy. Don't get me wrong, I'm not even close to eating totally healthy, but I am, eating healthier things than I was. And I feel like, the way I was going, it's like you're not going to continue to be the same. I've seen it over the years where my eating was terrible and it got worse. And then I thought, how can it get worse than it already is? And it did. So, in quality of food and quantity, so, and lack of exercise. So, lack of movement slowed way down, quality of food still down, and the quantity's way up, even more so than couple of years ago, a few years ago. So anyway, when you try to change everything all at once after years of doing nothing really to help yourself, it's just tough. And then when you get off course, or when I got off course, uh, I considered a failure, and it's not worth it type of thing, and would just go back to my old ways. So, and I think if I kept going down that road, it would continue to get worse. My weight would probably continue to increase, and more health issues than I already have. So, yeah, I think it's just important for me, taking it slow, and just not trying to change everything at once, and not trying to be perfect. I don't know why we try to be perfect with weight loss, but I think a lot of us do it. We're not perfect, in any other aspect of our lives. So why should we be perfect in weight loss? Another big thing, along with portion control, eating less, was I just increased my water intake too. I mean, I was not drinking hardly any water. A lot of sodas, iced teas, and I'm talking like not diet sodas, but regular sodas, a lot of sugar, a lot of calories, sweet tea with a lot of sugar, a lot of calories. Um, so, just making minor adjustments like that, drinking Diet Coke, or Diet Pepsi, Diet whatever. It's not great for you, but it's at least no calories. So, again, just, taking it slowly and making some subtle adjustments and do it over a long period of time is going to make a big difference. So the portion control is huge. Getting more water intake's huge. Water is great for you in a lot of different ways. Your body needs a lot of water to operate efficiently. So those were two things that were really important: portion control and the water intake. As far as exercise goes, and actually, I'm still not doing much exercise. My wife and I walk occasionally, kind of more casually walking, but it's burning some calories, and it's keeping me moving. So that's important. I will increase exercise eventually here, but again, just keep. I'm just going to keep adding small things over time, and uh, and I think that's the way to go. I think when you do those types of things, you can consider it a small win. Even if you started off, say, the first several days of your attempt at weight loss and getting healthier, if you did nothing but just increase some water intake, you would at least feel like, if you set a goal, I'm going to drink whatever, and don't try to drink eight glasses of water a day if you've been drinking none. Maybe add one or two or three or four, whatever. But anyway, set the goal and then do it, and you'll feel accomplished once you do that. And then you'll get some confidence. And going forward, confidence is huge. Um, it lets you know that you can set a goal and you can reach that goal. So small goals turn into bigger goal setting, and it's kind of like a building block technique, as you go forward. Um, One thing too for me is just the biggest thing, I think, is the whole mindset change. Not trying to be perfect, not trying to do everything all at once, but just staying consistent. And there's days where, it's funny, weight loss is the easiest thing in concept. You have to take more calories. You have to take less calories in than you're burning, right? And I mean, that's what it all boils down to. There's a lot of different programs out there to get you in that um, calorie deficit, but the bottom line is that's what needs to happen. But it's so complex because everybody faces different challenges with medical issues, and there are systems in your body, thyroid issues and stuff like that, that will affect your weight loss. So it's very easy to lose weight in concept, but very hard to do it when in reality. Some days are better than others. On those tough days, you just have to keep in mind the consistency overall. You have a bad day, no big deal. You get back on it the next day, or the next meal. Even if you blow it for a meal in your mind, and I don't think there's any in my mind. There's no blowing it, and because that's one thing that hurt me in the past as well. I'd eat like say some pizza for lunch, and it was too much in my mind, and then I'd be like, well, I already blew it for lunch. Might as well blow it for dinner as well, and not only blow it for dinner, let's have dessert afterwards as well. So makes no sense, but that was kind of my thought process at the time. And so by looking at the big picture and trying to be consistent, if you have those days where you think, you didn't quite perform the way you wanted to, whether it be with some exercise or water intake, or, your food, your calories, you were eating a little more calories than you thought, no big deal. It's one day out of, the rest of your life is not that big of a deal, right? But if it derails you from keep, trying, then it is a big deal. So, and positive attitude, I mean, that's huge. So anyway, one of my failures that I last, I don't know, multiple attempts to lose weight, I would have considered a failure was last week I gained weight. I literally gained weight last week, like 1.4 pounds. I only weigh myself once a week. And because your weight will vary, water intake. I mean, sometimes your body's holding water. Ladies, that time of the month you hold water. Guys, we hold it too. Yeah, a bunch of salt intake will cause that. So I think I had quite a bit of salt. I weigh in every Saturday morning, and I had quite a bit of salt last Friday night. So I think that's probably what happened. No big deal, because I want to see how it plays out this week. I'm going to be consistent and just see how it plays out this week. And I have a feeling that I'm going to lose that 1.4 that I never really gained anyway in terms of fat on my body. I think it was probably I was holding on to some water, and I'm really excited this week. Total mind change that I'm really excited this week after a 1.4 pound weight gain, to see what the scale says this week. In the past, it would have crushed me, and I would have been, probably thrown all the way off course again, and gone multiple weeks, months, who knows, before I would have attempted it again. So that kind of mind shift mindset is showing me that, I'm growing in that area, and I'm super happy about that. So anyway, yeah, I just want you to know that, as we get older, it is tougher, but it's also better in a lot of ways because we have experience now. We've probably attempted to lose weight, who knows how countless times over the years, but we now have that experience behind us. We're older, our perspective on things changes. And yeah, it's a great opportunity for us right now. So if you're over 40 and you need to lose some weight, you need to get healthier, just know that you can do it. I mean, it's not easy, but it is possible. And if you would comment down below and let me know, what is one thing that you could change this week to get you started. And I'd be glad to talk with you, answer any questions that you have, get a hold of me. Take care of yourself, and good luck, and I'll talk to you soon.